Good evening all and welcome back to the Ford Escort R1600 League from NXTGEN Racing. And this week we are at Brands Hatch. We have got two races for you tonight. We've got a feature race, which is what the guys are only qualifying for at the moment, which will be around the GP circuit. And then we have the sprint race, shorter qualifying, which will be around the Indy circuit. So, plenty to look forward tonight. We've got 11 on the grid at the moment. I think we might be waiting for one more as well, but nice to see a few more drivers on the grid for tonight. Obviously we have been a bit inconsistent recently with when we have and haven't been racing, but we've got 3 weeks left of the championship and we will be at each one, so no more breaks until the end of the season now. So just having a look through the drivers we have on the grid at the moment. Webby's a Johnny, looks like he's going to be one of the first to start a hot lap. 15 minutes of qualifying, followed by a 25-minute race, this feature race. And then the sprint race is a 5-minute qualifying, so basically 1 lap, maybe 2 laps, maybe even 3 laps around the Indy circuit of qualifying, and then a 15-minute race. So these are the drivers on the grid. A few returnees and a few newcomers. Well, one newcomer in fact. No, Numpty Ned returning, almost returning to the pits, but that's ruined the start of his lap. I can only imagine he got it a little bit out of shape coming through clearways. Only newcomer we have this week is Bob MK1. Loves his classics apparently, and races them as well, so at least he might feel at home. Let's hope he does feel at home, and let's hope he gets off to a good start, running in the silver and red Escort tonight. So let's keep an eye out on him, see how he gets on. It's excellent to have him on the grid, and hopefully he'll be here for the rest of the season as well. As we are, no one has set a lap time yet. I think someone's about to cross the line to do that. Let's see who around that part of the track. Here we go. NJ Lee, is it him? No, he's just starting a lap. Ah, Johnny, yes. Back with Johnny. I think he'll be the first one. Or he might be the last one to start a lap. No, he's already crossed the line actually, so let's ignore that. He will be the first one to cross the line and set a time. And I lied, as a second. Beckinsale set a lap time already. But Johnny's gone into a 49.6. Beckinsale at 47.7. There in the beige and black car. Last season, you might remember if you've followed the series, was quite an exceptional race. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to commentate on it, but it was one of the better races of the season. With 4 or 5 drivers fighting for the lead the whole way, and then a big incident on the final corner resulted in 2 cars going round, spinning, and it left the podium open for Funzaxby TV to cross the line first. Beckinsale, I think, was 3rd. I can't remember who was 2nd. I think it might have been WRT Scott McFall. Bit shabby in my notes this week. I've been here, there and everywhere, so you have to excuse me. But Beckinsale still provisionally on pole with a 47.7. Expect the drivers to get a little bit quicker than that. As the qualifying session goes on, pole position was a 46.4 last season. That was set by Funzaxby TV. As Beckinsale comes round to complete another lap. The returning driver has missed quite a bit of the season. Does go up to 46.9, so only 3 tenths off of the last season's pole position. And Beckinsale, as I said, did get onto the podium here last season. But saying that, NGLE has pipped him. Oh, sorry, it was NGLE that's went on 46.9. Beckinsale's on a 47.5. Lee did a 46.5 last season, so a few tenths off of his best. some drivers struggling to adjust, they're telling me, feeling like they're not on the pace, but slipstream's pretty strong around this track on the GP loop. Not so sure about the Indy loop, but definitely in the GP loop. Maybe to Johnny being one of those drivers, but currently sitting in P5 on a 49.6. He is a second off of 4th place, having said that. But doing a decent, having a pretty good season in all series that he's competing in at the moment. Let's just run through the points as they stand. So it is NGR Lee at the top of the tree with 188 points. He's got a massive gap to Whitford, 0. He's in second on 126 points. But having said that, Whitford has missed the last few races. NGR MLV has also missed the last few races. He's in third on 82, just 1 point ahead of web user Johnny. And then Scoob G in fifth on 76. Numpty Ned returning. He's in sixth on 64 points. Then we have MSRT Silver 27 on 59. Tom Worcester on 43. One High Mofo on 42. Larnaca is in 10th on 37. Welsh M Sport only done the last race in Oschersleben with us. Unfortunately, he can't make it tonight, but he's in 11th on 33 points. Bays 0007 on 29. Beckinsale 1992 in 13th on 26. MSRT Vega 14th and 19. Other than that, the only drivers we have tonight that further down, Dave Finn. No, Dave Finn's not with us. What am I talking about? That's it. Other than the only drivers that are racing. Anyway, back to, well, I rabble on. We've got just under 6.5 minutes left to go of the session. NGR Lee with a big advantage over the rest of the field, putting the lap time down to 46.3. So it would have been quick enough for pole position last season, as he takes a spin, running a bit wide and onto the grass. Scooby G up to second. It must have been Scooby G. No, Scooby G got tagged with NGR Lee on the last corner last season, so that's what I was thinking of. But putting up a good fight here. Led for half a lap Oschersleben before running wide and spinning himself around, giving NGR Lee a fairly clear run to the end then. But that was our last race at Oschersleben. Will the fight continue? We'll soon find out. Cam 123 Diz. He was one of the drivers in that lead pack last season. Unfortunately, he ran wide. Coming up to the corner, the next corner was where Cam spun last season. He spins one corner prior in this session, so he's not going to improve on that lap. But currently sitting in 4th, so good effort considering he literally just joined last minute, no practice at all. But then quite a few of these drivers don't seem to do much practice. Whitford 0 in 5th. Took the first 2 race victories of the season and looked to be a real challenger for NGR Lee in this title fight. Still currently in second, and realistically the fight is over, but mathematically he's the only real contender to stop play. Bob MK1 doing a pretty decent job in 8th. So let's hope he can convert that into a race pace as well. Fraser down in 9th, but again no practice. Can be very quick on his day. We've seen him in multiple series. So expect the unexpected from Fraser. Bays 007 in 10th, and Numpty Ned in 11th. Those two following each other around at the moment. Let's just keep an eye on this. Let's go for a little bit of a on-board session with Bays. We've got Ned just ahead of us. See what these two are up to. We've got 3.5 minutes left of the session. And then the drag to the line. Looks like both of them might improve their times. Let's hope they do. Yes, they both do improve. 2 tenths splitting them. These cars, great fun. Easy to throw into a corner and just power out. But there we go, 10th and 11th there. That was a lap on board. But currently it is still NGR at the top as he comes across the line again. 2 seconds off of his best time there. Beckinsale will be the next. Does he improve? He does not, but again he'll have another chance to do so. Scooby G has returned to the pits, so his attempt at getting pole position is over. He's improved to 46.8, but only second place. Although I think he'll be pretty satisfied with that. Whitford, you can tell, has been in the wall, looking at the front of his little yellow Escort. And then Cam just behind in the blue car with NGR just ahead of him. So Cam may have just emerged from the pits to start a final lap. Let's have a look at Larnaca. Here's the group ahead. So we've got Bob MK1 just ahead. Oh, so he was the car just behind the 2 we were on board with last lap. Oh, as they both go very badly wrong ahead. As Bays goes for a spin, Ned runs wide. Through Sterling's and up through Clark curve. Tricky corner this one, easy to get wrong, but greatly rewarding if you get it right. These two will get another chance. We've got 30 seconds to go again. So Bob MK1 not on a quick lap that time. Taking a load of curb at turn 1, Paddock Hill Bend, and up to Druids hairpin. But as the time ticks down, let's just see if everyone's going to get across the line. So Cam did. Beckinsale I think was behind. I don't think Beckinsale got across the line, doesn't appear so Cam was the last one to cross the line in time, so we'll keep an eye on that. Who is next? Oh, Lee's not going to improve and returns to the pits, Julie, as he got onto the grass on the exit of Druids. But web user Johnny currently in 6th. Does he improve on his time? No, he doesn't. Last lap doesn't improve. Okay, here. So it's Numpty Ned will be the next to cross the line as he is just going through Westfield and Dingledale at the moment. Up to Sheen. A little bit wide. He can take a lot of curb through that. Does help. But Ned just missing the apex there. And taking too much of the apex at Sterling's. But anyway, he's still on a lap. across the line. Does not, no, does not improve. Bob has given up. Larnaca is coming across the line now. Does he improve? No, he does not. So Whitford's coming up behind. Whitford improves to third, and Cam follows him up into fourth. Very closely matched there. And who's the last one? Bays. That's it. So there we go, qualifying over for the feature race. And Lee yet again on pole position. Very dominant in this series with pole positions. Scooby G in second, Whitford third, Cam 123 Diz in fourth, Beckinsale 1992. The early pace setter has dropped to fifth, Web User Johnny sixth, Larnaca 666 in seventh, Bob MK1 eighth, and Jeff Fraser ninth, Bays 007 10th, and Numpty Ned in 11th. So the drivers now have 2 minutes to sort themselves out, get themselves comfortable for the start of the race, and in fact they only took 30 seconds. So we're sinking into the race already. And we're away. Loads of wheel spin from Scooby G, and Fraser's not even moved off the line at the back, falling straight to the rear of the field. But it looks like it's going to be Scooby G into the turn one in front of NGR Lee, and it is side by side. They go through Paddock Hill Bend. Whitford, with his traditional good start, is putting the pressure on already at the front. Everyone looks like they got through turn one pretty cleanly, but Cam Diz 1, 2, 3 all out of shape in under brakes and through the corner at Druids. Webby's of Johnny's been elbowed out there, unfortunately, and that looked like it was, who was that, Larnaca, who just about held on just behind. No, Webby's of Johnny's in triumph again, and that is with Bays 007, who had a very good start. But oh no, I didn't quite see who that was with. Bob MK1, just a little bit of contact there, putting them both into wall, so they'll both fall to the back of the field. But it is a long race, so hopefully they'll continue. Johnny spins it back round. Meanwhile, back at the front, Beckinsale is putting NGR Scooby G under pressure. And Scooby G is running wide, so very wide, well held. Slides back across the track, collects himself up, and this will hopefully allow Larnaca to get a bit of a tow and hold on to the lead group. But Whitford 0 is tucked up behind NGR Lee as we get towards the end of the first lap of this 25-minute race. Cam 1, 2, 3 Diz just behind in fourth, NGR Scooby G, as we saw, just falling down to fifth after running wide at Hawthorns. Larnaca in sixth. Bays continues to stay in seventh despite a bit of coming together at the very start of the race with Webby as a Johnny. Fraser in eighth despite his basically non-existent start, and he's having a look down the inside of Bays 007. Not quite far enough alongside, but he's showing his nose, and he's still showing his nose down the inside into Druids. Does Bays see him? Does he give him room? Yes, he does. Good driving, but all on the curb. Fraser just gets a little bit loose. Still side by side, and Fraser decides to sit in behind for now and attack into the next corner, which will be Surtees as a left-hand corner. He'll have the inside line, and just behind him, Numpty Ned looking to pounce on any mistake or any coming together that these two drivers have. Side by side, Bays has got the best. Numpty Ned's got the best view of this, so let's go on board with him as we head down to Hawthorns for the second time. And Numpty Ned's having a look, and he's really going for it. He's put his nose right there. I think he's made the move stick as well. Yes, he retakes the line, and you can see it in the mirror just on the right hand side of the screen. The green and white car of NGR Fraser behind Ned. Excellent move into Hawthorne. It's a brave man to do that, I tell you. Many move has gone wrong there, but Fraser respectfully gave Ned some space, and now Ned can concentrate on attacking Bayes 007 for 7th place. It's a good driving from those three. And keep an eye on that, as I'm sure it won't be the end. Meanwhile, back at the front, Whitford has dropped to just more than a second behind Lee now, but Beckinsale has got his mirrors full of Cam Diz, 123 Diz and NGR Scooby G as they come through Paddock Hill Bend and up towards Druids. Cam with the inside line. Beckinsale goes very, very wide. I don't know what... Oh, he's lagged. That's annoying. Hopefully it's not lagging for the drivers. Hopefully it's just lagging for me. But nonetheless, Cam has got through. Beckinsale's not having any of it though, as he looks to come back immediately into Surtees down the inside. I imagine Scooby G will try and get an inside cut back here, and he does. He'll go in free abreast down the straight. How is this going to end? And Cam has the line into Hawthorne's. It's right-hander, pretty quick. Scooby G's backed out. Beckinsale running on the grass a little bit. He got off of it before the corner, which was the essential part. And there was literally no separating these two. As Beckinsale, wow, around the outside, manages to retake 3rd place away from Cam. Scooby G remains in 5th for now. Larnaka's dropped off the back of this group, but he'll be in a lonely 6th. What's the battle like behind? That's spread out a little bit, so we'll go back to this battle for the final spot on the podium. Yes, it is early days, but every little helps. Get up the field early and try and make a gap on each other, as Beckinsale is now pulling away from the two behind, as NGR Scooby G goes past Cam Diz. Cam 123 Diz. Just go for Cam. They'll get there in the end. Someone has retired. I believe it's Webby's of Johnny. Bob was... Oh, he's on the back of this group. Okay, so Webby's of Johnny retired, but Bob just behind the 3 battling for 7th, so he should be able to get himself in that battle if his qualifying times are anything to go by. Meanwhile, Scooby G and Cam 123 Diz are still side by side, working the switch back really well. There was Cam retaking 4th place back off Scooby G. So Bayes still leading this train of 3 cars. Looks like it might be 4 pretty soon. Back on board with Ned. See what sort of view he has. Oh, he's going for it down the inside of Hawthorne's again. Bayes looked like he'd run a bit wide. Maybe he caught the grass under braking, which just held him up a bit. But Ned not holding back. He wants to get past as soon as he can. Going a bit shallow into Westfield. I keep thinking it's Dingledell, but that's Dingledell. We've just gone through there. And Sheen. But Fraser managed to make the most of that. A very wise driver, Fraser. He knows when to attack, he knows when to defend, and that was ideally the best time to attack, as Bayes makes a mistake out of Sterling's, and indeed NGR Fraser should make the most of that. But Bayes not giving up, holding the outside through Clearways, through Clark Curve even. Clearways is a bit earlier on before Clark, but now Ned is going to try and squeeze his way past Bayes as he defends, or he's sort of attacked quite literally by Fraser. Bayes had to resist. Oh, turned in a little bit there, and did I see that right? It was Bob into the back of yeah, I think Bob was into the back of Bayes there, so Bob's caught up to this group and making it a 4-car train, which is now led by NGR Fraser. I imagine Fraser might pull away from this group. But let's see what's happening with Cam and Scooby. They're still bumper to bumper. At the front now, it's NGR Lee in his traditional green machine. Starting to pull away a bit now from Whitford 0 in second. Gap a second and a half. Whitford just sitting in for the long run at the moment. Beckinsale a little bit shaky out of Sterling. The two behind have now closed up, in fact, so that might have been a bit more of a mistake than it looked on screen. Cam taking a lot of curb there, trying to get the shortest possible line through Clark. And you see Larnaca in the background, very lonely at the moment. But in sixth, Scooby G has a look, just showing his nose, maybe trying to get in the mirrors, trying to force Cam into a mistake. Nothing doing that time. But Scooby G having a look down the inside this time into Druids. Cam gives him the space. But as we've seen from other drivers, you can hold it round the outside of Druids. And he does try. Cam still there, so should retain the position, and he does indeed for now at least. Scooby G is going to try and force his way around the outside into Surtees. I'm so bad at corner names, it takes me forever to think of what they're called. Either way, I don't know why I changed that. Scooby G has got past Cam now, so can these two push on and have another go at Beckinsale? Larnaca giving him a little bit of airtime here, running in 7th, but battle for Larnaca's running in 6th, and the battle for 7th is starting to spread out a tiny bit. Fraser leading Ned, Bays and Bob, but still a very likely opportunity of an overtake for one of these drivers. Seeing quite a few mistakes already in the opening laps from a few of them. But let's go back to the battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Beckinsale pulled a little bit of a gap there as the other two were fighting for the early part of the lap. Now can they work together to close completely on Beckinsale? Lead at the front, staying fairly stable for now. 1/10 of a second difference between Whitford and Lee last lap around. You can visibly see the gaps getting smaller to Beckinsale in 3rd place. He will want to get a podium. Another podium would be his 2nd of the season. Got one in the 2nd race at Watkins Glen. And in fact, I think that was his last race. I think he only done the opening rounds. Yeah, so Beckinsale has only done the opening rounds of this season. Scooby G has done near enough all of them. But here we go. Scooby G tucking underneath the bumper, so why not go onto bumper cam of the man in green. Little bit tap on the brakes through Hawthorns, but there Beckinsale has run a bit wide. Is Scooby G going to be able to make a move? No, he can't quite take advantage, and settles in behind, but that will definitely allow Cam an opportunity, I imagine, to close up. In fact, he's not closed up at all. He dropped back, if anything, so maybe a little bit of a mistake from Cam, but still within about half a second of Scooby, so it's not as if he's out of the battle or out of the slipstream even. Gap at the front now up to 2 seconds, so a few more attempts pulled out that time round by Njali. The battle for 7th has definitely spread out a bit now. We'll have a look at that shortly, but Scooby G having a look, just showing his nose again. Very experienced runner in the next gen community is Scooby G. Beckinsale, not, I wouldn't say a new driver, but isn't able to race in many series. I think this might be the only one he does, in fact. But he does well in it, and he's definitely showing his pace here as he's fighting for the podium positions. These drivers at the front are serial winners throughout other series in the next gen community. We're down to 9, so someone's obviously come off or retired, and that's NGR Fraser, unfortunately, from 7th place. So that moves Fraser, Bays and Bob up as a position. But Beckinsale really under pressure as Cam's closed the gap now. Let's go on board with Cam. A little bit of a bump into the braking zone. Not much of a braking zone, admittedly, but very easy to get the back end out. Thankfully, didn't force Scooby to run wide or anything, and they were able to continue. And with a lot more speed through Clark curve there. Or maybe it was a matter of quicker in and slower out, or he seems to fall back a half a length down the straights, even with the slipstream. But Beckinsale gone deep into paddock. He's going to lose 2 positions from that, I think. If the camera could keep up, that would be excellent news. We're never going to know what's happened. In fact, there we go. Beckinsale has fallen back maybe about a second and a half from the 2 ahead. So Scooby G up to 3rd, and Cam 123 Diz up to 4th, Beckinsale down to 5th, and that was all his own doing. Just run a little bit too hot into Paddock Hill Bend, running a bit wide, and if the camera could keep up I would have been able to see what happened, but I think he must have run maybe 2 wheels into the gravel, which slowed him down enough to lose contact with the drivers ahead. Meanwhile, Larnaca 12 seconds behind the group ahead, but 10 seconds ahead of the group behind. He must be getting very bored, but still going. Good points for the man. And Ned with Bays close behind, and Bob's come off somewhere because he's dropped 6 seconds to the 2 ahead. Ned with a best finish of 4th this season, and that was at Sonoma. And Bays has done a few races, got a 9th in Sugo. I believe he was at Ocean Open, but I can't remember the results of that. But here we go. The pressure is on. Little Ned's made a mistake, and Bay's looking to pounce. Can he do anything? Not into Sterling's. I reckon he'll try and line him up into Paddock Hill Bend. He'll look for the exit out of Pilways and Clark Curve, and try and have a go into Paddock Hill, maybe Druids. He's not going to be close enough, so Bayes are going to have to sit in behind for now. Just 8 minutes to go of this feature race. Round 11 of the Ford Escort RS 1600 League. Oh, Ned not quite using his mirrors there, running deep into Druids. Cut back and didn't quite see Bayes there. Little bit of contact, but they both managed to keep it on track. The fight continues, and Bob behind closed in 7/10 on that last lap to these 2, so if he can keep that up, he might... no, he won't quite be with them by the end, so he could really do these battling a lot harder, but the way it's going at the moment, they might well be. So this for 7th place. Bayes looks a little bit quicker through Hawthorns, and he might try and line him up. Probably wouldn't go there if it was me, but he's put his nose in and he's forced out Numpty Ned with... oh no, he's gone round as well. They've both come off. Bays has come out worse. Oh no, nothing they could do about that. And just as we were speaking about it, Bob will take full advantage and he will move himself up to 7th. So unfortunate going into Westfield. Bays has showed his nose to Ned, who saw it late, so ran a little bit wide in avoidance. But Bays just got his foot down a bit too quick there. Spun, or half spun to the inside, hit the wall, bounced back across the track just as Ned was recovering at the same time, and speared into Ned, sending both of them round. Bob was not going to take that, laying down, and ultimately took both positions. Meanwhile, back at the front, Whitford is coming under pressure from Scooby G now. The gap at the front is to Lee is 3.7 seconds. So it looks like it's just simply Scooby G's pace. In fact, yes, look at that, 46.2 last lap compared to Whitford's 47.9. Oh, Lee's gone off! He's basically done the same as Bays. From the way he's gone off, I imagine that's how it happened. Just got his foot down a bit too much, or maybe clipped a bit too much curb, and he's going to lose the place to Cam as well if he's not careful. Cam right there, and thrown away the win has been is NGR Lee. We've not seen too much of that this season, but Lee's going to have to defend from Cam into Clark, and a little bit of hip and shoulder, but he gets the job done. Meanwhile, for the lead, Scoob G's got the inside of Whitford, and he should be able to make this stick with just over 5 minutes left of the race. This is going to become really interesting now, especially with pole sitter now in 3rd place. Side by side all the way through paddock. Excellent respectful driving from these two. Whitford, 2-time winner at the start of the season, looking to make it free. And Scooby G has yet to win a race in the Escorts in both seasons, despite his serial winning streak and everything else. He never quite has the pace to win in the Escorts, but it's not the case today. Let's have a look at the times. Has he got the fastest lap? Best lap? Currently a 45.1. And that is Scooby G. So Scooby G currently on track for the fastest lap as well. So really turning the wick up tonight is Scooby G. As Lee runs a bit wide, just collects it back together. Doesn't want to be pushing too hard to throw away a podium, because Beckinsale and Cam are not far away, and they will be able to take advantage of any mistake that he makes, especially as severe as the one he made last lap. Larnaca keeping it on track at the moment, still lonely in 6th, but we'll go back to the lead battle. Whitford is going to hopefully be able to push Scooby G all the way to the end. Gap just under half a second. Oh, Cam, just seen that in the background, looked like he was going for a pit stop, so he must have hit the curb hard at the final corner, which slid him almost into the pits. So coming under pressure from Beckinsale now. Beckinsale will want to get that place back. Cam taking a crap load of curb, so was Beckinsale. But Cam just gathering himself again, doesn't want to push too hard because 4th place would be an excellent result for him. Let's have a look further back. But he's not far ahead, only 3 seconds ahead of Numpty Ned, and Bays is 7 seconds back from that. So unfortunately that battle did end quite abruptly with that crash. But Whitford may have made a little mistake out of Surtees, as he's dropped back to a 2.5 seconds now, very quickly. So maybe this battle for the lead is over as well. Beckinsale, meanwhile, is not giving up the fight with Cam. 1, 2, 3 Deers just ahead. Cam consistently running a little bit wide out of that corner, I've noticed, out of Hawthorns. Not costing him too dearly yet, although he turned in a bit early there. Had to correct into 30, not 30, Dingledale, no, Sheen, there we go, got there in the end, and he's trying to make up for it straight away, and that has cost him dearly. Beckinsale right on the bumper now, in fact pushing him round Clearways and Clark Curve. Beckinsale will hopefully have a look at getting through. And he definitely is, because Cam has gone defensive. Throws the back end out under braking. Oh, takes a lot of curb, and that's him into the gravel. And there we go, Beckinsale forced the error of Cam. 1, 2, 3 did. Cam back down to 5th place now. And he will be pretty disappointed, but there's still 1 minute left. Can't remember if it's the final lap time plus a lap or if it's just time and that's it. It's been 3 weeks. I've lost my touch. But Scooby G looks pretty secure out front. Still lapping quickly. The second quickest lap round, only 7 thousandths slower than NGR Lee, who's just over a second behind Whitford for 2nd place. But top 3 look quite comfortable now. Beckinsale got a little bit of a big gap to Scooby G, to NGR Lee, but a little bit of a mistake out of Hawthorne, and Cam with just under a second behind. You saw how quickly that evaporated with Cam last lap. Larnaca still 666 in 6th. Bob MK1 still going round in 7th, keeping the gap quite consistent with Numpty Ned. And Bayes 0007 is at the back. But here we go, NGR Scooby G, I'm not sure, this might well be the flag. And it is! NGR Scooby G gets his first ever win in the Escorts. About time, he must have thought. He's had a pretty solid season, it has to be said. Whitford 0 takes 2nd. NGR Lee with a 3rd. He'll be disappointed that he lost the win, but he's not lost too many points to Whitford. Beckinsale got 4th in the end, ahead of Cam. 1, 2, 3 Diz. Larnaca fair way behind, but probably the most boring race he'd ever been in, as he comes round in 6th place and collects some valuable points. So Larnaca 666 taking 6th place. Bob MK1 only just ahead of Numpty Ned now, so Bob obviously made a mistake. Will Ned be able to get him across the line? I don't think he'll have quite enough time to do that, but Bob on debut takes 7th, just ahead of Ned. Must have enjoyed the racing he had there, very good throughout the whole race. Bayes 0007, unfortunately he comes in last due to the incidents he had with Ned. But there we go, there is results, provisional results. Scooby G with fastest lap as well by quite a way, quite 6 tenths quicker than anyone else. So that is the results. We should have, maybe we'll have 12 for the next race. Next race will be in a separate video, so keep your eyes peeled, and hopefully we'll see you there. It's a shorter sprint race, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about watching a long race. Yep, so there we go. Excellent win for NGR Scooby G there. Can he make it 2 out of 2 in the sprint race? We'll see you in a bit.